this week, and it seems like we've had quite a bit of a struggle these past months, actually 2.5 years, pretty much. But this past week was something special. It was something breaking, something humbling completely. Wednesday morning, my wife took Charlotte to her primary care physician, and we were recommended to Hasbro Children's Hospital to seek further treatment for something she's going through. If you don't know, Charlotte is about 13 months old, and she's just over 13 pounds, so any little thing on her seems to be magnified a little bit. We got to Hasbro Children's Hospital, into the ER. Into admitting. Due to the nature of her infection, they said that she had to wait about 4 hours before she could be seen, because if there was going to be treatment, she would have to have had fasted for a while. So we waited the time in a place where every child in that place was dealing with some sort of asthmatic virus, masks. It was full. It was gross, and we were worried that we were going to get sick as well. Well, we didn't yet, anyway. But we get into our room finally, and the emergency room doctor takes one look at my daughter and says she's going into surgery. And she kind of gave us this scare that I've never had before. And to look into my wife's eyes and to see the sorrow and the guilt that she was experiencing, because the doctor almost made it feel like that it was our fault for not seeing this sooner and for not getting treatment sooner. So we dealt with this in the room by ourselves while waiting for the surgeon team to come down and to talk to us about what we're going to go through. And I know I got online and I sent a message out to a bunch of guys, some really, really tough guys that I don't usually expose myself in front of as far as my Christianity goes. And I asked for prayers for my son, my daughter, my 2 young daughters, my wife, for our whole family, for just a bunch of different things that I've never really asked anybody to either look at or understand before. And my wife, I know she contacted her prayer warriors, and as we sat in that room and we were waiting for the surgeon team to come in, it was quiet. There wasn't much for us to say to each other because we were both just kind of blown away by the idea that our daughter was going to be going into surgery, and it was difficult. Well, this short, frumpy guy, young, with a full red beard and a lot of red hair, comes into the room, and he tries to lighten the situation, and he didn't make my wife happy by doing that. He made light of it, but a couple moments later, he took a look at what the doctor had looked at, the emergency room lady, and he basically categorically refuted everything she said. And rather than going to surgery, we were going home. So he explained to us that she had missed a couple of key elements in her diagnosis, and due to that, he would prefer to let the antibiotics that she was on have another day to try and work itself out. So we took that, and we said, okay, well, we're going to go home. In my prayers, and I'm sure every parent can attest to this, you don't want to see your child suffering. You pray that you can take away that pain, that you can just do the best you can. And that was definitely a prayer that was answered, because to make the situation even more fun, on the way out in the valet, the young man who was serving as our valet accidentally closed the door on my arm and broke it, but that's all right. My wife and I laughed about that quite a bit on the way home. It was just such a whirlwind of emotions. I mean, the bigger message that I had from all this is that God was telling us that He'll handle the big things, and I need to handle the small things, which has always been the opposite for me. I still can't find my wallet or my keys most of the time, but I'm working on it. Now, Charlotte will be going back to see her primary care physician for this on Monday, and if all goes well, she'll be just fine. She won't have to go in. But I want to thank everyone for their prayers, and I hope that somebody can find some sort of connection to God, because I know I did. And sometimes it's tough, and I get stubborn, and I try and be too much of an egomaniac, and I don't look to God when I should, and I really had to be broken down to a point where I was reaching out to people I've never reached out to before. So thank you all for your prayers.